Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, members of the press, sponsors, and friends. On behalf of the organizing committee, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the official press conference for the inaugural Village Ski and Rhythm and Sands Food, Rum, and Rum Festival, which will be held here in the British Virgin Islands. Before we begin, let me acknowledge the presence of obviously you guys, the press, and thank you guys obviously for coming out, because without you, also the success of this event obviously would not happen. Representatives from HLSCSC and the Virgin Islands School of Technical Studies, obviously our valued sponsors and partners, both local and international. We are very grateful, obviously, for your support in making this event, or bringing this vision to a reality. At this time, we're going to just ask you to stand so that we obviously show our respects for Virgin Islands by obviously the playing of the national anthem.
Virgin Islands pride, to preserve the beauty we devise the blend, to obtain ownership of your precious land. Educating your people is the golden key to maintain the success of this territory. Oh, how radiant are your daughters, and how wealthy are your sons. Your beaches boast your beauty, and your success is second to none. Green and brilliant are your hillsides, they replenish our hopes and pride. So beautiful Virgin Islands, your qualities can never be denied. Oh, beautiful Virgin Islands, your qualities can never be denied.
Okay, please be seated. So lovely, Pride of the Virgin Islands. And again, we welcome you guys to Village Ski. So distinguished guests, members of the press and friends, it's truly an honor to welcome you to Village Ski Hotel and Marina, not only as a venue, but as the birthplace of this new exciting cultural experience. The Village Ski Rhythm and Sands Food, Rum, and Rum Festival is more than just a celebration of food and drink. It's a celebration of our people, our culture, and our future. For 3 days in October, we'll be bringing together world-class chefs, local culinary masters, wine experts, and rum artisans to showcase the very best of the Virgin Islands alongside international flavors. This festival is designed to strengthen tourism in our shoulder season, create opportunities for our hospitality industry, and highlight the BVI on the global stage as a destination for culture, cuisine, and music. We are proud to host this event beside Rhythm and Sands, and we look forward to welcoming both our community and international visitors to Village Ski and Rhythm and Sands in October. So ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've all been waiting for is with great excitement that we announce the Village Ski Rhythm and Sands Food, Wine, and Rum Festival will take place on Friday, October 17th through Sunday, October 19th, 2025. This 3-day event will feature international and local chefs presenting exclusive culinary experiences. Fine wines and spirits from around the world alongside the Caribbean's finest rums. Live musical performances celebrating both cultural rhythms, both gospel and from local talent to international headliners. Cultural showcases that honor the Virgin Islands heritage. So at this time, I'm gonna again hand you over to my co-sponsors, who I must say have really come on board to help us to make this a reality. When we started this journey, you know, it was at the concept stage here when we came over there at Village Key. And when we pitched it to Rhythm and Sands, I must say they embraced it. They've seen the vision and where this festival can take, not only from a business standpoint for both our interests, but also what it lends to the cultural landscape of the BVI, what it lends to our tourism product here in the BVI. And again, from an economic standpoint, what it could lend to the economy here in the BVI. As you know, food and rum are the two most important, if you want to say, pieces of the puzzle when you are speaking of, you know, tourism. And it's a new experience, you know, when it's different from having the beach and the sun, you know. It's about food now, and it's about rum. So we get people traveling from all over the world. I mean, already we have guests who've already rebooked who were here over the last season that have already rebooked with us just to come to experience this new, exciting culinary expo that we're about to obviously roll out. So with that, I'm gonna hand you over to my co-sponsors, and we can have some of our sponsors then. And let me also acknowledge Caribbean sponsors, who again also from the beginning and has always supported us in a lot of the ventures that we do here, without question. And with that, I mean, I have to give Caribbean Cellars big props and sincere thanks. Jahphix, again, saw the vision, jumped on board, and saw the importance of what this can do to the BVI landscape. So with that, I'm gonna hand you over to my co-sponsors to say a few words. And again, let me just express my sincere thanks and for each and every one of you for coming out and supporting us and helping to make this event a whopping success for what is supposed to be the inaugural event. So with that, you know, you hear inaugural, you know, we got plans to make this bigger and better going forward next year. So I'll hand you over to my co-sponsors.
Thank you so much, Mr. King. Yes, my voice kind of projects over the mic. Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Avril Alexander, and I'm here with the General Manager of the Imagery Dining and Entertainment Group, Mr. Leslie Yunaho Leslie. You will know him, very familiar with him at Rhythm and Sands at Puzzles, yes? And I'm also with the group. We're very proud and happy to be here today. The Rhythm and Sands restaurant in King Garden Bay, part of the Imagery Dining and Entertainment Group and family, we're excited. This event, we could only come with one word, and that's excited. We're excited to be partners with the Village Key Hotel and Marina at such an attractive event as this Food, Wine, and Rum Festival 2025. The date is set, as you heard, October 17th through October 19th. We'll see a full-on culinary and cultural fusion curated through a full weekend of culinary dynamics, entertaining mixology showcases, local talented musicians, and is matched with signature dining event and experiences. That's what you're going to have. Certainly a weekend that we will all have marked on our calendars. So take your phones out right now and calendar this event, okay? Certainly not an event to miss. Imagine countries from across the region: Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, St. Lucia, Grenada, Guyana, and the BVI, just to name a few. Well, all will be right here as a melting pot of BVI charm and BVI hospitality. Now that's an experience worth attending, won't you say? The MHV Group and Entertainment Dining Experience looks forward to the educational element of joining the territory in bridging the gap through hospitality by utilizing the visiting chefs to mentor our young students in the territory. These will be our chefs or bartenders and who will be responsible for hospitality in the future. Let's get them ready. We're looking forward to this partnership with Village Key Hotel and Marina as the various sponsors of the events as well. It being a success, further being an annual celebrated event. So it's not just for this year, okay? Not just for the BVI, but for the regional and international partnerships as well. We invite you culinarians to come out, explore the food demonstrations, and find dining at its best that weekend. Calling on the wine connoisseurs. Connect with your friends and delight your taste buds. And if you just want to have a great time, then certainly come out. Socialize the unmatched hospitality right here with Village Key and Rhythm and Sands. Our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Henry O'Cricky, and our Director, Mr. Dalen Vanterpool, they couldn't be here today, but they have extended how excited they are to partner with Village Key in this incredible event, which they hope to see goes throughout the long run. Yes? And also very excited about the educational aspects that the visiting chefs will have here as well. And their last words would be, let's have a great time. Mr. Leslie, is there anything from you?
Pretty good. You said much.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to have a great time with Village Key and Rhythm and Sands.
Thank you, Avril. So at this time, we're gonna invite one of our sponsors, Parillon Cellars, to come up and just say a few words. He looks a little surprised, but he knew this was coming.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's actually really nice to be here, to be a part of this event with Rhythm and Sands and Village Key. When we first heard about this event, we jumped on board one time because we know what this event can do for the economy, what it can do for the locals, to get them more knowledgeable about the food aspect, but more so the wine and the rum aspect, which is part of our business. And when I reached out to our suppliers, I was shocked by how much response I got back from winemakers, rum makers, that actually want to fly in and be a part of this event and be the ones to actually showcase and speak about their products. And I was overwhelmed because it was like, okay, wow, which rum distributor do I pick? Because now everyone is calling and everyone wants to be a part of this event. And even with the wines, we have wine distributors in France, in California. Send me the dates. We want to come down. And I think that is a testament of what this event can be. And I don't think we should take this event very lightly. We might say, just for economy, as a small tourism, but no. Many people out there look to the BVI and they look for any opportunity that they can take to come here and experience what we have to offer here in the BVI. And I think this is a huge step between the two companies, Rhythm and Sands and Village Key, for what you guys are doing. This is something different. This is something exciting. And I think with the partnership that you guys are creating, this event is only going to grow. Because I don't know if you guys know, but you just build an annual event. Because this event is not going to stop after this year. It's only going to continue to keep growing. So on behalf of Caribbean Cellars, we're more than excited to be a part of this event. And like I said, we will have suppliers and wine makers and rum makers from across the world that will be here, that have accepted the invitation and will come and be the ones to actually speak and present and give the knowledge and excitement about their particular product. So thank you guys for having us, making us a sponsor. We appreciate being able to partner in this event and be a part of history with what you guys are making. So thank you guys very much.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. When we first started this journey in bringing this festival together, we chose a particular time of the year where it's, everything was just positioned right, very strategic, and when we went about doing this. And we chose those dates, 17th, 18th, and 19th for a reason, because it's right before the new season kicks off. So it gives then sponsors the opportunity to showcase the new products, but it's wines, rums, for us as hoteliers, for us to sharpen our chefs to sharpen their skills ahead of the season, getting it right. And for me, I prefer, when I always say do it right the first time. So in planning these dates, it was very strategic. So it's where, be doing it right the first time. So we don't have to go back to redo anything or make corrections. All it should be is just constantly improving. So to give you a deeper insight into what is going to be expected over those 3 days, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Trevon Stout. He's one of the chefs from Barbados. Trevon will give you a bit of his history. Again, an award-winning chef in his own right, a part of the team that would have won the Taste of the Caribbean competition. He's a consultant. He's also a trainer of chefs who I'm obviously going to utilize the time while he's here to speak to my team. So taking every advantage of, exploring the culinary arts, And so with that, I'm going to hand you over to Trevon to give you a little deeper insight on what you can expect from the Village Key Rhythm and Sands Food Rum and Run Festival.
Pleasant good afternoon. How are we doing? Fantastic. I think the key word for this afternoon is excited, right? Excitement. And essentially that's what we're aiming to do with this festival. As we realize that it's something that we want to do on a yearly basis, so we have to kind of kick it off right? And the partnership between Rhythm and Sands and Village Key, I think, is paramount within the execution of this festival, because it also gives you an opportunity to kind of see both ends of the spectrum. You get to kind of experience two properties. You get to move around a bit. You get to see and and feel the lights of BVI. This is my first time here, and I can't say I'm enjoying it so far. It's a beautiful space, beautiful people, and a nice vibes. So as we are aware, the festival kicks off from October 17th to 20th. 3 days, 3 different fields. It's 8 chefs in total. We are bringing chefs from Barbados, which would be myself and a couple others. We have chefs from Guyana. We have chefs from Trinidad. We have chefs from Jamaica. So you have as rightfully said before as well, it is a melting pot, a cultural melting pot. We have mixologists from Trinidad. We have mixologists from Barbados, and then we're also featuring chefs from here in Tortola, from the Village Key Marina, and from Rhythm and Sands as well, and mixologists alike. The first day, we're going to do the grand opening. We're going to have that night. We start from around 5 p.m. We're going to have the welcome address by the event chairperson, speeches by the premier and the governor as well, and then we're going to some light gourmet tastings, where every chef then will present one of their signature tapas dish, and mixologists as well would present their signature cocktail. The following day, we move into the brunch. So we have a brunch at Rhythm and Sands. In the daytime, it's a beach brunch party, more or less. Going to be very nice. We get to then sample what Rhythm and Sands has to offer from a brunch perspective, and there we have some featured cocktails as well. In the evening, we move into our gourmet tasting dinner. It's a 7-course dinner. Every course, more or less, then will be prepared by each chef from each country, and every course will be paired by a signature cocktail from the mixologist as well. And we also are featuring our vegan chef as well. We have a vegan chef coming up, so we will have those options for the vegans as well. Exciting options. It's not going to be boring. You know, often you hear vegan. Some people tend to think that vegan is boring. Vegan is not boring, and we have a chef that will prove exactly that. Right. We then move into the final day. Whereas the final day we have brunch back here at Village Key. We start in the morning with our brunch, and we also have junior chef competition as well. So the junior chef, again, part and parcel of what we're doing here is to influence the younger generation. As we said, is to again strengthen the product, strengthen what we are doing here in the BVI, what you guys are doing in the BVI as well. You know, because you want to bring those people, you want them to work along with the young ones. You want the young ones to have an understanding as to, you know, what it is to offer a high quality product, a premium product, which I think is very important for the product here in the BVI. I think you have a very strong set of, you know, people here. You also the clientele that is attracted here in the BVI as well is of a very high standard. So you always want to kind of raise the bar, keep the bar very high, you know, as you move forward. So on the Sunday, we have a competition for the junior chefs. So what's happening is from the time we come, we have every chef is responsible for a junior, and we kind of mentor that junior for over the course of the 3 days. So we take them under our wing, we train them a bit, you know, and they're with us, so they get to see what we're doing, get to work along with us, and most definitely we get to influence them in all good ways. Yeah, so then on the last day we get to we put that to the test, right? We see what we throw some challenges at them. We put them in a competition space, 45 minutes, and we get to kind of see what they have learned over the period. And on the Sunday as well, we also have so we flipped it a bit in respect to the judging of the featured chefs. We are going to give our guests some gold coins. So they will have 3 gold coins. One for, and they will place their gold coin for 1, their favorite chef, 2, their favorite mixologist, and 3, their favorite wine or rum, right? And at the end of it, then we get to see who the winners are. On Sunday as well, we have our closing ceremony, which the featured chefs all would prepare 1 signature tapas. Again, very sharp, very nice, and the general public then gets to vote for who they find as their favorite, and we kind of close it out at that point. But I think over the 3-day period, it's a nice spread. Everybody kind of gets an understanding and sees, you know, what we have to offer. Everybody, you know, more or less comes and puts it down. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm very excited. I for one am very excited. You know, to also go through this process for the inaugural food, wine and rum festival, and definitely look forward to strengthening it. And again, we have some exciting things planned for the future. So.
Okay, so that's a little bit of what you can expect. So, okay, let me also add, each of these nights are theme nights. Okay. But before we go on, let me acknowledge the arrival of the Premier, Dr. Wheatley. Dr. Wheatley, we want to thank you for obviously showing us and giving us your support with the event. So again, welcome, and feel free to come up, say a few words, and as the man of the hour right now.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to be here with you for this press conference and announcement of this very significant event. Let me give apologies just for being a little late. I just got out of National Security Council and rushed straight here, but I certainly am glad that I was able to make it because I'm so excited about this wine and rum festival. As Premier, as Minister of Tourism, I give this event my full endorsement and all the support that I can give. As persons would know, I just traveled back from Carafesta, which is the Caribbean Festival of the Arts. And this Festival of the Arts attracted persons from all over the Caribbean and even further afield from Africa, from the United States of America. And it reaffirms my belief that a key mechanism to building our tourism product are various types of festivals. And this wine and rum festival will be an excellent complement to our tourism product. And I especially like that it is in October, because the months of August, September, October have traditionally been very slow in our tourism product. And if we want to go ahead and eliminate the slow season, which is an ambition that we have here in the Virgin Islands, that all our tourism properties can remain open and that the hard-working individuals from these properties can have walk throughout the entire year as opposed to just 6 or 7 months out of the year. It's going to take establishments like Rhythms and Sands and Village Key and other partners and sponsors to come together like Caribbean Cellars and others. And let me certainly acknowledge Mr. Steve Parillon, who's here with his Fish Fete, which again is a idea which I endorse and I support, and certainly is happening in October, and the same concept applies. And I want to challenge persons who have ideas, persons who want to see events happen that can enhance our tourism product, especially in the traditionally slow season. That government is certainly interested and willing to be able to be a partner in whatever way that we can for these events to be successful. And of course I like wine, and I like rum, and food. I missed that part. But certainly I like food very much. But of course, this is an important part also of our tourism and hospitality sector. And we have local foods, wines, and rums as well that we can put on display for the public and for the people. So it is my honor, it's my privilege and my pleasure to be here, and you can count on us to be a partner with you, not just in this 2025 year, but moving forward. Again, it is an exciting day. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity and the government the opportunity to be involved in this event with you. And I'm very much looking forward to this event's success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Whitley, for the kind sentiments and your well wishes. So we were saying 3 days of events. Each event is themed. So Friday night is called Pure Gold, the Taste of Village Key, where it's interactive all 3 days. You, the guests, get the opportunity to vote for your best chef, best mixologist in terms of dishes and drinks. On Saturday, the Art of Indulgence, which will be at Rhythm and Sands in King Garden. Again, beach party, excellent setting, very nice ambience. So again, we're inviting you to come down to King Garden. You can spend the entire day actually at Rhythm and Sands because there's a brunch and then they go into the dinner. So again, full day of events. Then on Sunday, you come out and you support the local junior chefs from HLSCC and the Technical Institute. These guys are going to be mentored from day one by the chefs. So again, it's about giving back also to the community, giving back to the schools. You know, they'll be very much involved in this event. So again, parents, you know, come out and support the kids. You know, it's about building on the future of tourism, the future of the culinary arts here in the BVI. So very exciting event. At the end of the day, whenever you're having a festival, it doesn't just end there at the end of the night. So when the festival finishes at 8 in the night, come on, it's a festival. The party must go on, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, it will go on. So with that, I'm going to invite Mr. Steve Parillon to come, and he's going to give you then, when the festival is finished, when the event is finished for the day, what to expect. So the party must go on. So I hand you over to Steve.
Thank you, Mr. King. Good afternoon to all. My name is Steve E. Parillon, like you like to say on Vino. The owner and founder of Fish Mobile and the BPI Fish Pet. So, I'm glad to be here today. It feels great to look left and right and feel like you have some company. A lot of times, you know, I do events and I look left and right, and sometimes I don't see anyone. So I'm really happy to be a part of this Rhythm and Sands and Village Key Food, Wine and Rum Festival. Now, Fish Pet started in 2021. We braked in 2023 and then we came back last year. So it has been an annual event. And when I saw the flyer for Rhythm and Sands, and myself and Mr. King became great friends, I reached out to him and I said, wow, we're gonna have these events on the same weekend. And then I asked him, you know, about the event, the scope of the event, and then I realized, hey, they could work together because you're gonna have wine, rum, and food. We're gonna have wine, rum, and food, but we're gonna be focusing on one of our main dishes, which is fish. And as you guys know, this time, by that time of the year, it is all time, fish time, because lobster has taken a vacation. Right? So we're going to leave that until November when they have Lobster Fest. And we're going to take this time to celebrate fish. So the Fish Fest is all about fish. You know, it's a weekend where you can come out and enjoy 3 days of the fish extravaganza, exploring many different fish dishes. On the Friday night, so I'll break down each night for you. So on the Friday night, is basically our Caribbean melting pot night where we're going to have a glow fest, we're going to have an international artist, local artists, regional artists, and we're going to have several different fish dishes from the different Caribbean islands, so you could come out and try fish pilau, curry fish, Creole fish, just the different fish dishes, and enjoy some great music. Like Mr. King said, these events are going to start later in the night, so it will not conflict with the festival in the day and into the early part of the night. So these are the nightcap. And then Saturday is basically our fish fry and line night. So it's going to be like a traditional fish fry night, free of cost. It's a family night. We're going to have cultural games. We're going to have Funchi band. I had a discussion with Mr. Kamal Georges last night. He wants to bring a jazz element to the event. So he's going to have a segment where we're going to have jazz, we're going to have local entertainment, storytelling. It's just a night where you can come out with your family, old traditional night where you can relax, eat some nice fried fish, Johnny cake. We're going to be roasting breadfruits. It's just going to be a nice chill night for the family. So that is the Saturday night. And then the Sunday is a very important night for me because, as you guys may know or may not know, last year while I was preparing for the fish fest, I was actually selling fish, preparing the venue. I got the call that my dad had passed away. So my dad passed away last year on the day of fish fest. So this year means a lot to me because I had the fish fest at behind the complex, and the music was facing the hospital. So one of the nurses told me, well, your dad heard everything. So before he passed, the last thing he heard was his son out there creating bacchanal. And those of you who know my dad, he was into gospel promotion. But, my dad did a lot of concerts around here, Grace Cellars, Spencer's, you go down the list. And so that was something that he passed on to me. And so on the Sunday, we're going to have the Parillon Gospel Fest, and it's going to be entitled I Live On. And if you know my dad's music, one of his most famous songs is I Live On. And so I want to make this an annual night for him where his music can live on. And with that being said, today I am proud to announce that I am bringing back the regenerated singers, and we're bringing back the group. It's going to be revamped, some of the old members, some of the new members, and we're going to be launching on that night also. So for those of you who loved the regenerated singers and my dad, Parillon music, you will get to come out that night and enjoy a great night of gospel festivities. We'll still have all the fish dishes going. We'll have other gospel local entertainment, and I think it's a great way for us to end off a great weekend. So thanks again to Mr. King. I'm not gonna lie, he saw the vision when I spoke to him about it. There wasn't any hesitations, and I see great things for Village Key with this guy. I always give people the credit, from time I met him, and it haven't been very long, but I saw a lot with him and his vision, and people with vision, a lot of times they don't get credit, you understand? And so sometimes we gotta give people with vision credit because, sometimes people don't see your vision, and sometimes it's hard to bring it forward, but, like I said, I see great things for this weekend. I think it's going to be a great weekend for all the establishments, and I want all the whole community to be involved. Although it's hosted by Village Key, Rhythm and Sands, I think that sometimes we need to come together as a country. Okay, we're pushing wine, rum, and food. Every restaurant in Tatola should be pushing wine, rum, and food, and fish. And if you need your fish, you know what to do. Check with Fish Mobile. Out.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Did I mention we've got local designers as well, and there's going to be a fashion show on Friday night? Did I? No. Well, there is. So see, we're leaving nothing unturned, no stone unturned. No stone unturned. Exciting weekend, exciting event from Friday to Sunday. So again, we're inviting each and everyone to come out, enjoy, support. So we want to now open the floor to the press. If you have any questions, feel free to now ask any of those questions that you may have to ask. So floor is open to the press.
Good afternoon, Kathy Richards, JTV. First of all, compliments to this event and seeing the type of collaboration that you have. As you guys were presenting, I was writing questions, and every time somebody else speaks, I got to cross out my question because you're answering it. But first of all, for you, could you tell us a little bit about you, your involvement with Village Key, and what would have led you to come up with such an idea of a festival?
Okay, I'm the general manager here at Village Key. For me, I'm one that I always like to think out of the box, to be honest. And since I've been here, looking at the landscape and again, looking at the months that are predominantly the slower months, what can I do or what plan can be developed that can fill the void of those traditionally slow months? So automatically, this was for me a no-brainer. Food, rum, and wines are around, especially in my country, and I've seen what it has done for the economy in the country in the traditionally slower months. So again, so therefore, no-brainer. Why not do the same thing here, but do it on a larger scale, improve on it, So hence the birth of which was at the time the Village Key Food, Rum, and Wine. Until then, I pitched it to Rhythm and Sands, who also, as I said, saw the vision and jumped on board. So hence the program that you see now rolled out.
Okay, in your opening remarks, you talk about the strengthening tourism. Could you speak to the level of involvement of the BVI Tourist Board and the Film Commission?
Yes, well, the Tourist Board, they have also endorsed it. Unfortunately, Mr. McCoy couldn't make it because of another meeting that he got caught up in. But the involvement is there from the Tourist Board side of things. From the technical institute standpoint or the school institute, they're very much on board with having their students be a part of this. And I mean, it's a great benefit to them because I mean, all these chefs that are coming are award-winning chefs who have their own businesses, successful businesses, restaurants. And so again, no-brainer. Partner these guys with these young guys, give them some skills, and these skills are life building, so it doesn't end in terms of the networking when the festival ends. It's open fully. It can go on forever, passing that knowledge on, bouncing questions off, because again, over those, well, it probably will like be a week because the chefs will be here the full week before, so those students will have that hands-on, experience, essentially.
Okay. How different is this from the BVI Tourist Board's food fest?
No, it's totally different. Totally different. Yes, there's the cultural aspect of it, but then you're gonna have, we've got chefs from all over the world, and these guys are rolling out their signature dishes. Same thing with the mixologists, all professionals. And again, mentoring students here as well. So it's still totally different from the BVI Food Fest. And again, for us, it's going to be on a larger scale because then you've got more international persons coming in willing to share their expertise, in whether it's mentoring or just showcasing.
Okay. Are you still open for participants from chefs from various countries? Can persons still register at this stage?
At this point, I think right now we have closed that off because we pretty much already have the program done, set, and laid out. Actually, that's why Trevon came in, so that we can just finalize that in terms of the total running order for those 3 days. So that's already done. But however, as we said, I mean, next year is still going to be much larger than this year. What I will say, we've already started, for example, some conversations with Chef Ramsey. Because actually one of the chefs that are coming with, he's actually Delvin Adams. He's a celebrity chefs. So he would have been on Discovery with Discovery Channel with Chef Ramsay. So that conversation has already started for next year. So again, it's sharpening the skills for this year and perfecting what we do this year into next year.
Okay. I had a beautiful question about the competition and the involvement of junior chefs, but you would have spoken to that. But so the other thing I'm to ask, what's up for grabs if I'm going to be in this competition?
Bragging rights for a year. Each of these junior chefs will obviously be given your trophy, your medal. You get the bragging rights for the year, and of course there'll be prizes. Yeah.
Okay. I did not get to clear the involvement of the H. Lavity Scout Community College. Could you tell us a little bit more about their involvement?
Yes. So again, the juniors, they'll be sending some juniors down, who, as I said, would be mentored by the chefs. Outside of that, any other assistance we need in terms of students, because again, I mean, this is a pretty large production, and obviously assistance will be needed. So they've opened the doors fully to being a part of this in terms of what we need with assistance with students, whatever.
Okay, so now I could go back to that junior part.
Yeah.
So if there's a child who is not affiliated to the college, but is very much interested in participating, is that allowed?
Of course. As I said, it's not just about the competition element of it. This is building on the future, So if that is the case, I mean, feel free to reach out to us. Everyone here is pretty accessible. Reach out to us and we'll make it work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why 3 days?
We would love for 4 or 5, but unfortunately, the weekend starts on Friday, ends on Sunday.
Okay, another important question. Seeing that we're bringing people from various Caribbean countries, are the chefs expected to present cuisine that is signature to their country?
Well, I would let Trevon. He is the man who's responsible for the chefs. So anything with the chefs, he can answer that for you.
All right. To answer that question, yes. So I think most importantly, we want the flair from the chefs. But on the last day, we definitely are asking the chefs then to utilize an ingredient that's indigenous to their territory, and the mixologists alike as well. So yes, you have that. You do have that touch within the festival.
Okay, thank you. My next question is to Steve. I feel so bad, like if I take over this board.
It's all right. You're asking some good questions.
Mr. Parillon, I don't recall you telling us about the venue where each of the events will be held.
Okay, so the venue for the events for the 3 nights is going to be no other than the parking lot of Village Key. So it's the parking lot right at the back of Village Key, coming around to the corner from the Falls Bank. So that is going to be the venue for the 3 days or the 3 nights of events.
Okay. For people like me, and I guess there are quite a lot of others who do not know about regenerated singers, give us a little bit more on that.
Well, if you don't know about the regenerated singers, you haven't lived life as yet. So I'd like to introduce you to life.
Yes, help me live.
So the regenerated singers was formed by my dad, the late great Claude Parillon from the island of Dominica, and he formed that group way back before I was born. And they toured many islands in the Caribbean, ministering to people. My dad, he was just not a singer, he was a songwriter, so he wrote, I don't even know how many songs, so many songs, not just for himself, but for other artists. And the group was together for a very long time, and it's a gospel group. And since the passing of my dad, the group has not been together except for a reunion last year that we did for my dad before he passed. Thank God that was able to happen. So before he died, it's something we spoke about, which was, maybe the group coming back, and he basically gave the blessing. And so I thought, hey, I want to keep his music alive. And just like, the awesome jam band is now keeping Daddy Friday music alive, I need to get the group back together, reloaded, to keep his music alive, because my dad's music is very popular here. And a lot of people really like his music. And a lot of his songs are very authentic. And not just gospel song, but look out for the Christmas concert as well. Because if you know, Jingle, Jingle, and all the song, you got a lot of hits. Just
Sing Elmo, give me some more.
Well, one of my dad's, one of his biggest songs, it was weird because when he died, I was like, man, Daddy, you created 2 big funeral songs for yourself. You understand? Stepping on the Clouds, and then I Live On, like he basically, created this legacy that is going to go on. And he's basically saying he lives on, and then basically stepping on the clouds, which, he had the clouds waiting for him a long time, and now he's stepping on the clouds. And so I just feel obligated. I have a very quiet family. I'm the one menace out of everybody who happen to always make the noise, so it's gonna have to be me to keep that legacy going. I know it would have been the biggest blessing for him would be for me to literally sing in the band. But basketball took away all those skills. I used to sing back in the days. He forced me to sing, but basketball took away all those skills. So I gotta, had to find someone to take up that role.
You probably should have one verse or something.
Yeah, maybe on one song.
My next question is to Mr. Foy. Can't leave you out. Given the nature of this festival where we have wines and rums, and we have persons coming from all the other Caribbean countries, would they be required to bring their product, or you can assure that, hey, just come, eat yourself some weight, we have all those available here from your countries?
Yes, so we will be providing the product locally. And like I mentioned before, we're going to have some suppliers and winemakers, rum makers from away that will be bringing some limited and luxury edition stuff that have not made it to our shores as yet. So there are going to be some exclusive rum and wines that's going to be at this event that we haven't seen on the shores of the BVI. So that's another reason for the public to come out and try some of these things that outside of this weekend they won't be able to try those again, because these are special limited editions from the wine and rum makers.
Okay, so you're giving nota, as we would say, to those wine and rum lovers to walk with some extra dollars, because you might be able to grab a bottle or two of something that's not available here?
Well, you're talking good. So those things will be available. But like I said, it's more for us, it's more about the experience. For the rum and wine makers, it's more an educational trip for them to just kind of bring the knowledge up more on the particular brands that they actually make on a daily basis. It's just more for them to make the public more aware that what goes into the process of what they're doing, how many years it takes them just to put out one bottle of wine or rum, etc. So for them, it's more of having that one-on-one, hands-on experience with the people at the BVI, something that on a normal day or a normal year they wouldn't be able to do. And enjoy paradise as well. So they took full advantage of the opportunity, and I look forward to having them here, because it's some of the wine and rum makers have been asking for years to grace our shores, and I guess it took Village Key and Rhythm and Sense to finally get me to get them here. So I'm excited just for them being here and passing on the knowledge and wealth and being able to try some of the stuff that I've never tried before. So I'm excited for that as well.
Awesome. I would not leave out Rhythm and Sands. Premier, I got one for you. But I'll go with Rhythm and Sands first. Rhythm and Sands, how does this fit in to what you guys would have envisaged at the startup of this new brand?
Well, it gave us some publicity since we opened in November last year to now. So this really gave us some exposure to the market.
Have you tested similar events since you would have started up?
No, this is no similar events. So we are very excited to be a part of this.
Awesome. All right, and my final question to the Premier. Premier, you got the budget for this?
Yeah, I could. Probably is it.
Turn it up. We could all hear you.
Yeah, I probably could have told you what the question was before you answered it, because everybody is quite interested in what money government is given. I don't have a budget actually. I found out about this a little late, but of course, despite the fact that I found out about it late, I'm going to speak to my financial planning officer and see what monies we can reallocate from areas of savings we can find in the budget to provide some level of support. So I can't provide a specific number right now, but next year, of course, since it's in advance, we can more so put together a proper figure and get it to Village Key, Rhythm and Sands for the putting on of this food, wine and rum festival next year. This food, wine and rum festival next year. But let me just say to that, despite the criticism that I would have received and various efforts, I remain resolute in supporting promoters, event organizers, persons who are working in the tourism space to bring people here to the Virgin Islands. It is something that benefits beyond just the organizers of these events. It benefits the BVI. When persons come in, they get their airline ticket here, they get their ferry ticket here. When they stay at a hotel, when they rent a car, when they pay their environmental levy, when they pay their departure tax, when they eat at our local restaurants and spend money at our local bars, this benefits the entire Virgin Islands. And when you have individuals willing to make those type of investments that will benefit the whole economy, including the government coffers and the treasury, government would be foolish not to be a partner in those endeavors. So I continue to be resolute. I'm not backing down.
You need to ask a second part to that question.
I apologize for that.
That's okay. We love the tickles. Is there a yardstick that is being used to measure the benefits of investing in events of this nature?
I'm glad you mentioned that. That is a very good question. Earlier this year, actually, I requested it before this year, but earlier this year, the ministry started working on a tool that would be used to be able to measure the success of these events. We have the immigration embarkation, disembarkation form. That's a tool we're going to use to be able to measure persons who come in for a particular event. I just went to Carafest in Barbados. So when you're filling out your immigration form and they ask you why you're traveling, it listed Carafesta there. So that's going to be an important part of being able to collect data as to why exactly persons have traveled to the jurisdiction. So we'll be able to tell whether they're coming by ferry or by air, who has specifically come for this particular event. And of course, we have other tools that we're developing, things like surveys and things like that. And we're also developing policies around sponsorship. Okay? So it's not just going to be at the whim of a minister. We're going to have policies, procedures. The promoters will be required to give certain types of information. And we'll produce a full report of anything that government has sponsored. So we want to do it in a very responsible way. But what persons should recognize and understand are the persons who organize these type of events. They are partners in the tourism space. And the private sector and government and other stakeholders have to be partners if you want a successful tourism economy.
All right. You tickle me one more, but I'll not dance to it. So thank you to the extent of my questions.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So this brings us to the end of our press conference, and we want to thank you for joining us for the official announcement of the Village Ski and Rhythm and Sounds Food, Rum and Wine Festival for 2025. We would like to extend our gratitude to our dignitaries, Dr. Whitley, sponsors, media partners for your support. Together we are creating a landmark festival and will showcase the British Virgin Islands as a world-class destination for food, drink, and music, and culture. So we now invite you to, if you haven't as yet, sample a little bit of what you can expect then from our festival. And thank you, and looking forward to seeing you at Village Ski and Rhythm and Sounds in October. So again, guys, thank you and have a good evening.